Hey, welcome to another episode. So, as you can see, I'm sitting down for this one, and this is because I am real tired of recording my podcast separately from the YouTube video, and I'm just not seeing a point to it. But I'm going to do both in one now, and I'm probably going to sit for a lot of them because I just feel more comfortable and open when I sit. I can speak better. I feel like I'm not having to worry about my body motion. Okay, that aside, today's episode's a weird one because this is something that I kind of have been garnering the knowledge on in the last few days, really, and more of a realization, if you will. So, obsessive thoughts is our theme today. And obsessive thoughts are the ones that are intrusive, they go against the grain, they're the ones that can kind of cut you to the core, you know? And this is a big problem because for me, especially, my whole life, I would obsess over problems since I was a little kid to the point that my whole day is consumed by them. And it could be something that I'm blowing out of proportion. It could be a real problem. It could be anything. But I would obsess to the point that from like 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., that's all I would focus on. That's where my heart would be. I can't get away from it. And no matter what came into place, no matter what anybody told me trying to make me feel better, I just went back to the negative. And in my head, time moves very slow. But in the real world, outwardly, it is immaculately fast. And this caused a problem where you just lose a whole day to some silly, obsessive thought that you couldn't get over. And for me, it's a work thing this week to the point that I lost an entire day. And my girlfriend told me, you don't understand how frustrating it is to talk to somebody who, no matter what you say, you can't make them feel better. And that no matter what you say, they're going to just go back to what they were thinking. They're not even going to involve you. Whatever you try to do, try to get in place, try to get into their head in some way, it's a fleeting thought to them. And she said, that's what I'm like, is that it's just nothing is getting in. I'm just going to make myself suffer all day over something that I know logically is stupid to focus on. It doesn't make any sense for me to care, but I do. And so it's something I've been working on. And the reason I bring this up today, as many other things I talk about, is it represses your growth. And I'm telling you that from someone right now who's trying their best to be better. So whenever you're obsessing and you're losing time, and even if you know it's wrong, I think you can break the habit. And I'm working through this myself right now. So this is not perfection at all, but I know I can do it. And that's the whole difference here. And that's the reason I'm making this video. I got to be honest, I didn't even have an idea for something this week, but this one came to me and I wanted to kind of speak to myself primarily. And so to tell myself and hopefully anybody else who's listening to this, the more you fight it, the more you consider the placebo effect, the more you consider reverse psychology where you trick yourself, the easier it's going to become. I'm now trying to enforce it by understanding I'm going to obsess over it, and it's going to run in the back of my mind no matter what I do, almost like a forefront, almost like it's clashing, just trying to get out, right? And I'm going to choose not to ignore it necessarily, but I'm going to involve someone else first. I'm going to let them get their beans out, you know? I want them to spill their issues, talk to me, so I can force myself to focus on it wholeheartedly, no matter how miserable it makes me. So hopefully in the long run, it'll eventually be kind of like my depression, where I've calmed it down, I've quelled it enough that we are now living in the same building, but we're not roommates anymore. You know what I'm saying? They may be my next door neighbor forever, but that's okay. Because you know what? I don't have to stay with them all day. I don't even have to knock on their door if I have to. They can knock on mine and I can choose to ignore it. I know they're there. I hear them. They yell at me, but it's fine because they're not controlling me anymore. It is something where I accept it as a part of me and I'm not going to escape it, and that's fine. And that was the whole goal. And so I'm working on that now with these obsessive thoughts. I don't even know if it's OCD. I haven't been tested. It might be. Who cares? All that matters is I have to get it fixed. And it's been ruining my life since I was a kid. And that is why I am making this video. I want anyone else who's dealing with this problem, these obsessive thoughts, usually negative, almost primarily negative, and train with me. Let's become warriors, you know? Let's actually work on it and understand that if you put the work in, if you catch yourself on your shit and be honest, like it's going to take some beating yourself up. It's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to make you even more insecure for a bit. But that's the thing. You are realizing that you are not as strong as you thought, but you have all the potential to do it now. And so we'll train together. You know, I'm working on it myself, and I hope this will help somebody else with this problem. But just really train yourself to understand it, because you have all what it takes to become great. And I'm telling you, because the minute you realize it, it feels like a door's unlocking. The minute you're honest with yourself about it, it feels like you got the keys to the car now. You're not just sitting on the side of the road hitchhiking. You actually have a real viable option. And that's all it takes, is one step forward. Instead of dwelling on what the future could be with all the negative possibilities, become something great and achieve it. And that's what I'm working on, hopefully. And I know I'm going to get there. I've got time, because, like I said, just admitting it's the first step. Alcoholics Anonymous even says this, all right? Honesty is key here. So be honest with yourselves. Be honest with me. Let's do this together. We're going to make it great. And when these obsessive thoughts take over, just own it. Don't let it ruin you. Realize it's illogical, and reach out to somebody, because we all need help. We all need people to help us look out for ourselves. Reach out to them. Tell them exactly what's going on and the problem you're facing, and realize that this is going to fail sometimes. Like, sometimes you may be too upset to the point that you can't do it, but try your best to get there. And in the moments that you could finally reach out to somebody, really ask for help and let them know how much misery you're going through right now. And you just need them to help you stop this train. And then, instead of weighing your thoughts, give them a general summary, and then immediately go into asking about their day and focusing on them. Let them derail your train so you can get onto a new track. And then later, you can talk about it once you've calmed down and forgot about it. You can logically think about it over irrationally thinking, and you can make a real solution. That's what I'm going to be working on. And I hope someone follows in step with me. If not, man, hopefully you can at least get something from this video that maybe helps you. If not, at that, my third one is, I made this for me. And honestly, I feel better making it. I feel more optimistic and confident about what I can do. And everyone has to realize we're all going through our own journey. We're all going through our own shit. And everyone deals with their own problems, emotionally, physically, spiritually. We all have something going on, whether it's a failing relationship with friends, family, lover, whatever. Maybe you just got fired. Maybe you're struggling for money. Maybe you're just not where you want to be in life. We've all got something that's making every day somewhat of a struggle. And some of these issues are very small, but they're the world to us. And so you have to realize that we all have these issues. So it's better to work on it with somebody than nobody at all. It's nice to know you're not alone. And so with that, thanks for listening. I hope somebody gets something out of this. And I know you can achieve what you're setting your mind out to, because we all can. You just have to be honest with yourself enough to start from the groundwork. You're not going to be 50 steps ahead. It's always going to be ground zero. You may have a leg up with your skills, but you're still at ground zero, and you have to achieve further to get to the top. So thanks for listening, man. Let's power through, and really, let's become warriors.